wanted to talk to you about what you do. Tell us a little bit about what you do as an advocate for a living and what you do, in your everyday life to advocate as well.
For me, right now, I'm working from home, but usually if it wasn't a pandemic, I would be going to the office every day. Central office for people with developmental disabilities down to our office. And I have a office, and I have an assistant that works with me because I'm visually impaired. So some of the stuff that my computer can't read or I can't do because it's not accessible to me, I have someone to read. And that's part of their reasonable accommodations that my office provides for me.
Give us a little bit of a snapshot what your job means to the community. What do you do when you're a professional advocate? What does that mean?
Well, I get calls from people all over New York State, and they might tell me about what's happening at their agency or what's happening, just say if they live in a supportive apartment or they live in their own apartment and they're not getting the services that they need to. I will call the agency, or now the way our system is set up, I would call the care manager who's in charge of, their overall life, and their life plans. And we would talk about the situation and how to solve it. And, sometimes I have to, call agency directors. I have talked with legislators, and I know a lot of some of the legislators from Albany and some from Western New York, because I'm from Western New York, Lockport, New York.
Very cool, very cool. I know you've advocated overseas as well, and you've been a big help to our government on a national level. Tell us a little bit about that.
Well, I served for 6 years on the National Council on Disabilities for President Obama. I was appointed by him to serve on that council. In fact, I have the plaque on my wall. Mind if I take the computer over and show you?
Sure, if
your
you
audience?
Can do that, sure.
Yes. Can you see it?
Yeah, you got to go down a little bit. But yeah, no, that's awesome. That's awesome. Yes. That is so great, man. That is so great. What did that feel like?
It was cool. I was a little nervous at first because it was the President of the United States, and getting to know him and getting to go to meetings in Washington, D.C. And I also had the pleasure of traveling with, at that time, Vice President Biden. And we became friends, and he told me if I had any information for him or the president, and he gave me a number to call. And I talked with his office quite a few times and networked. And, we spent some time together. So that was exciting. It's working with people to let people know that our lives are important, and not only to advocate for what you want and speak up for yourself, but speak up for others too. There's a lot of individuals across the country and around the world that count on us to speak for them. People will tell us, well, why do you speak for somebody? I know people that they can't speak, or, they're not like you. It's like I was blessed to have this ability, and I'm sure you are, and other people that I know. It's just like people have politicians and, you know, mayors and stuff to represent them, and they trust them to represent. So why can't people with disabilities trust us, you know, to be their spokesman and, you know, the people that will relay what they want to them. You know, that's how I try to relate it to people.
No, that's right. What is your official title, Justin?
I'm a individual and family advocate. So I also do advocacy for families. A lot of families will call me with issues, and sometimes all it takes is explaining something to them. And as I have helped develop a lot of the programs and things like that, I understand them and how they're supposed to work.
Very cool, very cool, very cool. You work for the state, correct?
Yes.
Okay, I just wanted to mention that to make sure we got that. Um, what do you see as the hot button issues for the future in your work and for people with disabilities? What do you think we should be looking at?
Well, what I'm looking at is just like I do this job and you do this job, and you know, other people I know, my friend BJ does this job. He works for the state. I helped design programs with the regional offices of our state to make that happen. I wish it was more people, but my goal is before I leave and retire is to get more people working in state government and working in local governments, because we have a lot to offer. All people got to do is take advantage of it and let us do what we're capable of doing.
So you think that we should focus on becoming more involved in government jobs and have, you know, be where the power is, right?
Yes,
Yeah, yeah,
because
very cool.
because
Oh,
I can tell you, for working with the people in the state and designing how things should go, who knows better than we do? Because we live those lives every day. And sometimes you don't get that perspective. Anyone can look on a piece of paper and say how things are supposed to be. But if you know exactly how it works in someone's life, it's different.
all right. Well, I wanted to say thank you for joining me today, Chester, on self-advocacy in action. It was great having you.
Well, thanks for inviting me.
Not a problem. Okay, man, we will talk to you later.
Thank you.
And please keep joining us and watching our content on self-advocacy in action.
I will.